Good morning, guys. Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we actually have some stuff for the white truck. So we're gonna do connect the battery back. Like I said the other day, charged the battery up and just disconnected it. That way it didn't run down again. But what we're gonna do, hook the battery back up, pull it down to the shop, and we have some stuff from our friends over at AlloyWorks. So let's get down there, get the truck down there, go ahead, get it unboxed, and take a look at what we got. All right, so we've already gone ahead and my grandpa has started draining the coolant out of the truck because what we have here is a radiator from our friends over at AlloyWorks. Now, I will put a code up here on the screen. This is my discount code for AlloyWorks. If y'all want to check them out, and I'll also leave a link down below in the description of the video. But let's go ahead, get this guy out of here and take a look at what we got. Super nice packaging, just like the 6.0 radiator was and the coolant bottle. Also, guys, one thing I wanted to mention, this video is probably going to be the next video that goes up. So this is pretty much like real time. And I wanted to say, if y'all would, be sure to hit that subscribe button. And if you would, share the video. I'm trying to get to 3,000 subscribers before my birthday, which is April 6th. So if y'all would, and you hadn't already, please hit that subscribe button. I really would appreciate it. But anyway, let's get back to the video. All right, so had to get a few pictures that they asked that I could get for them. But anyways, here you have the aluminum radiator and fan setup. Now this is for a 99 to 03 truck. For some reason on their website, you put in a 97, which is what this truck is, and it pulls up OBS stuff. So found the dimensions online, sent to them. It matched, everything matched. So we should be good with this. Now, we are going to keep the fans on these, at least for right now. We're going to try them out and see how they do. But one really nice thing about these that we found on the 6.0 is you can actually take these off and run your factory shroud. You have a bolt and washer right here on each side, and then it slides up and out of these tabs. So super nice, and like I said, you should be able to run your factory shroud on your truck. But anyway, like I said, we are going to be trying these fans. Now the fan wiring video will be in the next video. We want to keep this just to the install portion. So what we're going to do, we need to get the factory radiator out. Well, not factory, the one that's in the truck. We need to get it out. Now there's a few things. One thing I do really like is this has an actual, like a valve on it, whereas the one on the truck is kind of funky and seems to be over-engineered. But you have that. You have your transcooler lines here and here. This will be for your overflow tank. This is obviously backwards, but and then you have your radiator hoses, which will go on here. So anyway, I'm going to get a few more pictures as they requested that I do, and we'll go ahead and get to pulling the old stuff out of the truck. We're going to remove the radiator. We need to remove it. We need to remove the clutch fan as well, because we're going to have nice electric fans. And I'm quite excited about that. So you also get, with these, you do get your little wiring kit. Now, these come with the little thermo switch. I'm not going to be using the thermo switch. So this will screw in to wherever you want it to, some sort of a coolant passage. And the temp settings on these are 165 off, 185 on, I do believe, if I remember correctly. Now, one thing about that, if you use these, you really need to have 160 degree thermostat, or your truck will never get cool enough for the fans to shut off. If you want to do it that way. I'm going to make another video and explain why I'm going to wire this the way we are, but it does come with some connectors and whatnot down there and your wiring kit. So like I said, we're going to do this a little bit differently, but we are going to reuse, or use rather, this wiring kit. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get some more pictures, and I got my GoPro over here. I'm going to throw it on my head again like we did on the 6.0, and I'm going to give y'all like a POV pulling everything out of this truck. Okay, so first thing we started off by doing is, because I have a body lift on this truck, you can see the little puck in there. So down in here, if you can see, let me zoom in for you, there's a bracket, that black bracket right there that you can see moving. So got to take that out, and then that had a nut and bolt that holds the lower portion of the shroud. And I believe, if I remember correctly, there's some brackets in here we're going to take off, but I don't remember that for sure. Now, we're not going to go into detail on that because it's body lift stuff. But you will need to remove your fan shroud altogether because, well, we're not going to need that no more. So anyway, we're going to do that, get all that stuff out of the way, and we'll go ahead and start on the radiator. All right, so let me make sure we're good. Yeah, we're good. Okay, so in here you have a 10 mil. These will hold your radiator in, and then there's some rubber grommets down the bottom that the radiator sits into. Before we do that, because we're taking the fan and everything out, I'm going to go ahead and take the fan shroud out. Go ahead and get it out of the way. Now, you will have to take your shroud loose anyway, so get an 8 mil. You don't have to have a short socket if you're using a standard ratchet, but if you're using an impact, your AC line gets in the way. So down here, right under where your radiator hose is, as you can see, we already got those off, but go ahead, get that out. I've already broke it free, just to make sure it was an 8 mil. But there is one side, set that over here. I'm going to put all this stuff in anyways, as I was saying, we're going to put all of this stuff in a plastic bag and put it in the box with the radiator. So I'm going to go ahead, get that over here, buzz these off, exact same as the other side, and then I should be able to lift this half of the fan shroud out. Okay, so I got both of these bolts out of here. So 8 mils, and then over here I had to use a short with a ratchet. Now what we're going to go ahead and do is take the radiator brackets off up here, pull the radiator toward the header panel of the truck, and we should be able to slide the shroud out of its little hole here. There, get that out of the way, and then I'll put this bolt back in here. So, should be able to pull this back a little bit and go ahead and start feeding our shroud out. Maybe. Nope. Okay, so the shroud is actually hitting the fan blades, if y'all can see that down in there. But we'll go ahead, lift the radiator up out of here, being as all of our stuff is all disconnected and everything. So just gotta be careful not to mess this up, because I am going to hang on to this radiator because there's nothing wrong with it. So we'll throw it in storage, and now we can come in here. This is kind of a awkward thing because you don't want to damage nothing. And there is your shroud. Now, set this here. These are some body lift brackets, if you're curious about that. But that exposes our fan and everything. So we're going to go ahead start getting that fan off and everything like that. And I'll show you that here in just a moment. Alright, so now that we got the shroud and the radiator out, go ahead, break your fan loose. You have a tool to hold the pulley, and then a tool for loosening the nut on the fan. And I believe these are left-hand thread. Is that right? So, are they right-hand thread? Okay. So, either way, we'll go ahead and spin the fan off. There's a nice blue point fan tools for that. But we'll go ahead and get those off and go ahead and get that fan out of the way. And just like that, our fan and fan clutch is removed. Go ahead, set that there. And probably gonna do a little cleanup in here before we start going in with our new radiator. And also, one thing I thought I would mention, these transmission cooler lines that they send you will not work with the factory lines in the truck. So went ahead and got the ones out of the other radiator. We're going to thread in here, make sure they work all nice and good, and we should be good. Go ahead and start throwing this radiator in. Alright, so now we have our, what we did, we went ahead and kind of pre-wired the fans. So now we should be good to go ahead and set that guy up in here and whatnot. So you do have these little rubber grommets that this is going to sit into. So I think we're ready. You got him? I got him. Alright, so I'm going to have a little help guiding us in here, since he can probably see that better. But anyway, alright, so you will have to kind of be mindful of your AC lines over here, but I think we're in there. So it does look like we're hitting on this AC bracket just a tad. Oh, there we go, just like so. So we are in there. So now we can go ahead, grab our radiator brackets, and get those holding everything in. Alright, so our radiator hold downs fit in here just fine. So we should be good. Should be good to go ahead. One thing I did want to mention, over here you have your transmission line adapters right here. There's another one downstream a little ways. What we did on this truck is we took the ones off the other radiator, put on this one. Did put a good bit of thread tape on there so they shouldn't leak. But the ones, I think they're over there. Yeah, they're those are Boss fittings with an O-ring for like a rubber hose or something like that. But we have the factory transmission lines on this truck, as you can see right here. So those wouldn't work for us. So went ahead and put those in. They did get nice and tight in there, so we should be good. But anyway, I reckon now we're good to go ahead. We might start wiring first. But like I was saying when the GoPro cut out, we should be good to go ahead and either start our wiring here, or we could go ahead and start putting our radiator hoses back on, our overflow hose over here, and our radiator lines. So we'll see. We might go ahead and do that first. That way we don't have to worry about getting any of our wires in the way. Okay, So we have went ahead, put our upper hose on. I need to get it on there a little bit more, but we'll take our fancy dancy. Hey. Alright, so we got our upper radiator hose on here. I need to slide this clamp back, get it on a little bit further. But we could take our fancy dancy snap-on little squeezer here and do that pretty easily. So this thing, absolutely love this thing. Only bad thing about it, it doesn't hold itself anymore. It doesn't lock in. This thing has seen its fair share of use. But go ahead and get that on there all the way and start sliding our hose up here. Alright guys, so we got everything all put back. Both radiator hoses, trans cooler line there and down there. Your overflow tube is back in there. And I want to mention the amount of room that this has cleared up is amazing. I mean, there's lots of room in there, so pretty happy about that. For working on this thing, or if we wanted to add certain things, we have more room in here. Now, with that being said, now is where you would go ahead and start wiring your electric fans. That is going to be a separate video, so the next thing you will see us do as far as this video goes is throwing some coolant in this thing, make sure there's no leaks, and we should be good to go ahead and pull this thing out of here. Alright guys, so we got everything put back on. As you can see, you can no longer see the radiator. But you can see all that extra room that we have in here now. So kind of debating whether to just leave this off or I don't know. We'll see. Kind of nasty under there. Definitely needs a really good cleaning, to say the least. Now, we went up to AutoZone, grabbed some Prestone coolant. I actually figured we'd just go ahead and put new stuff in here. The old stuff was pretty dirty, so got some Prestone coolant, put in this thing. All they had that wasn't 50-50 mix was the universal stuff, so that should be fine. But anyway, we got that, and then in this jug here, we just got some distilled water that we had in the house, poured it in here. So anyway, I guess we're gonna go ahead. I gotta go to the car, grab those, and we picked up a fuse tap for the wiring. Like I said, the wiring will be in the next video. So anyway, I'm gonna run out here, grab these out of the 300, and go ahead and start filling this guy up. So it is the next day. We had to go help my mom with some stuff yesterday. But anyway, I'm gonna grab these. He's got one of them. We had that one in storage, but I'm gonna grab these out of the 300 and go ahead and get started. All right, so we got it. I don't know how you can see it, but it has gone down over there in the reservoir. You kind of see that level right there. So I do have a good bit left in this. So I'm gonna start this thing up. I'm gonna drive it, come back, check it. It and the transmission fluid, did drain a little bit of the fluid out due to the transcooler deal. So I'm gonna drive it a little bit, come back, we'll top that off, and I'll run the heat. That way it circulates through the heater core and all that stuff. So let's fire this old girl up. I'm gonna open the door and we're gonna get this thing out of here. All right guys, so I just got back to the house and my temp gauge is working again. That's cool. It used to, I don't know what's up with the oil pressure gauge, but used to, what it would do is the oil pressure would start out normal, this would be cold, and then it would show no oil pressure and all the temperature. and then they would switch back and forth every now and again. So pretty cool, but now it works again. And I will say one thing, the truck seems to have more throttle response, which is nice, very nice, especially when you only have about 7 horsepower to deal with anyway. It's pretty nice. But anyway, there she is, and I think it's pretty good. So like I said, the next video will be the wiring video, and so like I said, the next video will be the wiring video, and I am going to make a video explaining why we decided to wire the fans the way we did. So if you can hear, they're on the key, and that's the way I wanted it. So that should be good there. So y'all stay tuned to the next video with the white truck. Now with the white truck, I know a lot of y'all want to see more videos with this truck, and I understand. I love this thing, but I want to get to this truck one day, and I want to go through it and just fix everything. So lots of stuff, but it is, but it ain't. You know, like the steps, I want to get those finished. These need to be lowered if you can't really use them. They're more in the way now than they are useful. So we need to do that. Need to do this one. Need to figure out the water leak, because apparently it's back again. Because this thing kills batteries when it rains real hard. Need to get the headliner in it. There's just a bunch of little stuff, honestly, but I do want to get to it at some point. I also want to tear this thing down at some point and powder coat all the suspension. So y'all let me know, what do you think about that? What color should we do? Because I want to find something. Let me hop out real quick. I want to find something that matches the pearl in the paint. See, where can you see it? You can kind of see it right here. I want to find something that matches that. So it changes. I mean, it goes from like a dark purple-ish type, you can kind of see there, to like a teal almost. So I want to find something that kind of matches that. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and disconnect the battery on it, because we are supposed to get some rain, and it's fairly simple to do. And you ain't gotta worry about jumping it and whatever else later on. So that is that, and we are good to go. So anyway, guys, I think that is going to be a wrap for this one. So if y'all enjoyed today's video or found it helpful, or you want to see more white truck stuff, please drop a like and comment down below. Smash that subscribe button. Thanks for watching, guys, and I hope everybody has a great day.